Oh no, the kaiju are attacking Toronto. It was great to see that director Guillermo del Toro filmed one of the biggest summer movies in Toronto. And this guy knows monsters. From Mimic to Pan's Labyrinth, he's really created some of the most unforgettable movie monsters. Of course, he's also worked with some of Hollywood's greatest monsters. Wesley Snipes comes to mind. This is real school. So when I say one of the biggest summer films, I mean that. Not just budget, but the scope of this film is more epic than I have seen in a long time. I recently even saw a graphic that showed just how big these Jaeger fighters were. And they could have even kicked our little friend Clover's ass. Hey, shut up. The only good thing you ever did was bite that HUD guy in half. Seriously, that guy couldn't keep the friggin' camera steady once. If you haven't grasped it quite yet, let me make it perfectly clear. This is the epitome of summer movie making. If you are going to see Pacific Rim for giant fuck-off shiny robots kicking all sorts of monster ass, then grab your popcorn and get ready. Del Toro is one of the best filmmakers out there in fantasy and sci-fi, and it's because he takes inspiration from other films, comic books, and fairy tales and makes them his own. One of the reasons this was such a good summer movie, notice I said good, not great, is because Del Toro clearly took inspiration from anime and old Japanese monster movies. Here's the thing about those kinds of films. You don't always have to think to enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of anime that is intelligently written with subtext and levels, but the action scenes are always just enjoyable, choreographed, mindless entertainment. For example, here's any fight scene from Dragon Ball Z. So while Pacific Rim is very entertaining, it is mindless entertainment. Do not, I repeat, do not try to think about this movie. Unfortunately, I did, and it did raise some questions about the movie. For instance, why would they make these giant mechs humanoid? Because if anything was ripped off when they were fighting the monsters, it was usually an appendage. The human form is not overly functional when it comes to fighting giant monsters. Do you want to see my design? Don't misunderstand, I went in expecting giant robots to fight monsters, and not only did I get it, but I loved every single action sequence. Del Toro once again created amazing monsters while paying homage to the classics like Godzilla, and the animation and special effects were absolutely beautiful. But is it too much to ask for two little things? Plot and acting? I mean, if we were to use the size of the robots as a metaphor, well then the Jaeger would be the action, and the acting would be Wall-E. I felt that 99% of the characters were just unwatchable. It wasn't a character-driven plot, and Del Toro never intended it to be. You could tell that even in his screenplay, when characters are named Hercules Hansen, Stacker Pentecost, and Newt. Clearly he was going for larger-than-life performances to fit in this larger-than-life film, but it really just made the characters annoying. Don't forget that this cast includes Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy, Clifton Collins Jr., and Rinko Kikuchi, who is an Oscar-nominated actress. But I really didn't care about any of the characters. The acting was awful, and Hunnam especially really just phoned it in. Thank God there's Idris Elba, a fantastic British actor who just needs to find better films. He and his Luther co-star Ruth Wilson are having a big summer with Pacific Rim and The Lone Ranger, but they really just need more of a chance to shine. Elba was the brightest performance by far, and his strong demeanor really grounded the film when it needed it the most. And so he is Pacific Rim's for the win. Hey Clover, where were you when those two pain-in-the-ass doctors needed eating? Too late, too late. What I can best equate Pacific Rim to is pornography. Hey, don't judge. You're watching me on the internet. What do you think keeps the internet going? The acting is horrible, you don't care about the plot, you really just want to get to the good stuff, but it's still enjoyable. So Pacific Rim is definitely an earn it. It may be a brainless summer popcorn movie, but it is a fun as hell brainless summer popcorn movie. Poll question, what is your favorite giant movie monster? And it's gotta be giant. As always, leave your answers in the comment section below. And until next time, school's out.